Hi everyone! In this video, I'll be going over body paragraphs. Body paragraphs are the middle paragraphs of an essay. These paragraphs give the most important points and information in an essay. In English academic writing, body paragraphs usually, not always, follow a structure that makes it easy for the reader to understand the information. So, when you have an essay, these are those middle paragraphs that give all the details and information that you want to provide to the reader. Now, body paragraphs don't always follow this organization 1, 2, and 3, but in general, this is a good structure to follow, especially when you're first learning to write an essay, so that your writing is organized and it's easy to understand and follow. So the first sentence in a paragraph, there is a topic sentence, and it states the topic and main idea of your paragraph. So it tells the reader what your paragraph is going to be about. For example, if you're writing an essay about the reasons students should study at Palomar College, maybe one of your body paragraphs focuses on the variety of programs. So my topic sentence could say, Palomar College is a great school to attend because of the variety of programs. So that's my topic sentence. Then I provide supporting sentences. I give reasons to support it. Details, examples, personal experience, facts. This is your evidence. This proves the point that you're trying to make. So I could give some examples of the programs that are offered. I could have quotes from students describing their personal experience participating in those programs. I could find facts. How many programs are there at Palomar College? Maybe it's 100. I would look up those facts and give that information. But it's really important to provide evidence in your paragraphs. You want to give details and explanations so that the reader has a clear idea of what you're talking about. You also want analysis. So how do those details, how does the support relate to the topic sentence? Sometimes this is obvious and sometimes it isn't. But you want to make sure that the evidence links back to your main idea, that because there is this variety, it's a good school to attend. And then you want your concluding sentence. You want to finish off your paragraph. Synthesize the main points. How do these ideas go together? All of these ideas that you mentioned in the supporting sentences. Why does this matter? So in this paragraph, if I were to write about Palomar College having a variety of programs, maybe I talk about in the conclusion that there are so many jobs in San Diego and so many career paths students are on that's the reason Palomar College is such a great place, because you have so much to choose from. Let's take a look at a sample paragraph. This comes from an essay about what makes a good teacher. Read the sample paragraph and then answer the questions below. In our class Zoom session, we will go over the answers, but in case you can't attend Zoom, I wanted to go over it with you. As you read, you want to find the topic sentence. What are two pieces of evidence you find? One is a general example and the other is personal experience. Which sentences give analysis? What is the conclusion sentence? Let's read the paragraph together. An important quality of a good teacher is passion for learning. This here is my topic sentence. This explains what the whole paragraph's going to be about. It has the topic, so the topic of this essay was good teaching. What are the qualities of good teaching? And it also has the main point, the main idea is passion for learning. That's the focus of this paragraph, is why it's important to be passionate. Then I have all my supporting sentences here. These are the these are the details, evidence, explanation, analysis. I give two pieces of evidence in this body paragraph. The first one is right here. For example, a history teacher should have a lot of knowledge about world and local history, feeling excitement teaching it. So I give the example of a history teacher. If you decide to teach history, you should know a lot about it, a lot about what has happened in the world, your local history, but also feel excited about it. And then I give analysis. I explain why this is important. If a teacher does not like the subject or being at work, then the students will not like it either and will not learn anything. However, when a teacher loves the subject, this excitement is passed on to the students. So here I'm explaining my evidence, and I'm connecting it back to this idea that passion is important, that teachers need to feel passion and excitement because this goes to the students. A second piece of evidence was right here. For example, in high school, I had a math teacher who didn't seem to really care about what he was teaching. He lectured to the class for about 10 minutes, gave us a page of work in the book, and then sat at his desk drinking coffee and reading the newspaper. This is another example. This is a personal experience example. This is something that happened to me. The analysis comes after, where I explain why it connects to the main idea. He didn't seem excited to teach, and I did not feel like I learned anything. So, if a teacher doesn't have passion, the students don't learn. And that's why it's an important quality of a teacher. Then finally, I end my paragraph with a conclusion, where I connect my points and I make a final thought about why this is important. In order to avoid this problem, schools should make sure that they hire teachers who love what they teach and the act of teaching. If they don't, students will just waste their time in those classes. So the reason this is important is we don't want students to waste time and lose an education. And I also make a recommendation at the end that what schools should do. So at the end of the paragraph, you need to conclude it and end it somehow so that it feels complete. On the next page of this handout, I'll put this on Canvas. You can also see the highlighted sections explaining how to organize a body paragraph. Okay, so we talked about body paragraph organization. Remember, you need a topic sentence, your main idea, supporting sentences that make your paragraph interesting, and finally a concluding sentence where you synthesize those main points and bring it all together at the end. Have fun writing your paragraphs this week, and I look forward to reading them. Take care.